So in this part of our tutorial, we're going to take another look at a basic if statement, but in Android instead of in iOS. So we're just going to test to see if a condition is true, and we'll print out a message if it is. So we will use the example of a bank account to print out a message if we have enough money to make a purchase. So if our bank balance is basically greater than or equal to the purchase price, then we'll have some kind of a statement being printed out. Now we'll take a look at a basic if statement in Android. So we've already seen one in iOS, and Android's not really much different. What we'll do, however, is we'll test an integer rather than a Boolean, because we've already seen a Boolean test, but not an integer. So let's go ahead and first create an integer. We'll call this just int I. In fact, let's give a real-life example. Let's think about a bank balance. Let's say we go to buy something, and we want to test to see if we have enough money in our account. So let's say our first integer is a bank balance, and let's give it the value of 1,000. This is an integer because there's no decimal places. We could be accurate and use a double, but really it doesn't matter for our purposes. I'd rather stick with an integer. And then we have, let's say, a purchase, and this is going to be a $500 purchase. Now, our test will involve seeing if our purchase is greater than our bank balance, and if it is, we won't be able to buy whatever it is that we want to buy, so maybe we want to have some kind of a message being printed out. So let's test that right now. Set up our if statement, and we want to say if bank balance is less than purchase. In fact, let's say if bank balance is greater than or equal to purchase, meaning we have more or the same amount of money as the purchase, we get some kind of a happy message saying, let's change the text, not text view, we want text dot text to contain the string or the message saying, let's have it say, you have enough money to make that purchase. Okay, very good. This is red because we haven't declared it. So let's put this if statement. We'll just do Command X. I'm just going to cut it and put it underneath here. Now the reason we could do that with iOS is because the reason we could have it further up is because we don't have to include this line in iOS, meaning we don't have to declare and initialize this variable to have the text field ID. It's different in iOS, but this is just something that we'll have to be aware of in Android. So put this after your text box declaration. So now we have this statement testing if the bank balance is greater than the purchase. If it is, we'll just have this text printed out, and if it's not, well, we don't have a case for that. We won't worry about it just yet. So let's go ahead and run this. So I'm going to run this with the Nexus S this time, which will be this simulator here. Just wait for it to load. And we get the message, you have enough money to make that purchase, which is excellent because we have twice as much money as in our bank account as the purchase costs. If it was the other way around, however, let's say we are trying to make a $2,000 purchase, and we were to run this again. Let's just wait for it to run. So in this case, our bank balance is not greater than or equal to our purchase. We have basically this test failing because it's false. So the code should skip over this line here, basically anything within these curly braces, and it does. We just get the placeholder text rather than our nice message if you have enough money. Because this is false, this test here is false, and so the code skips the code in the curly brackets. Right, so that's a basic if statement, and now you've seen them with a couple of different variables and in Android and iOS. In this part of the tutorial, we just took a look at the basic if statement in Android. So we had the example of a bank account, and we tested to see if the bank balance was greater than or equal to the purchase. And if it was, we had the app tell us that we have enough money to make the purchase. So basically we ran the test, is our bank balance greater than or equal to purchase? And in the curly braces, we had the console just print out some kind of a message. So by now you should be able to write a basic if statement to test integer equality and have a result print out if it's true, or basically just have the code execute some small task.